Hey there, it's Saj. In Wyoming. I'm a state trooper here.
Cool. And Sajan, and then where you at, my friend?
In Wyoming Highway Patrol.
Oh, nice, man. Awesome. What's up, brother?
So, in a vehicle pursuit, hypothetically speaking, a phone leaves the vehicle and you determine that there's one occupant in the vehicle. What's the kind of grounds for identifying that phone? One, for, to see whose it is to return to the owner, but also because there is a crime versus like hot pursuit at that point.
Now, where is this phone? Was just like, so how'd you find this phone? This phone was thrown out the car, or was it just like in the
It
car
was
when?
on a motorcycle, and the phone basically fell out of the riders. Yeah, like legit happened. Like fell out of the
Oh, no, this
rider's
is a good one,
hand.
actually, because the
So
phone, he didn't throw it, he didn't get rid of it. It just fell off of him while you were chasing him.
correct.
Okay. I think I have some good advice here. I want Mike to, yeah, it did fall out. So that's going to, kind of
I,
affect the answer a little bit. What do you think?
I heard like every other word. I heard like every other word. It sounds like inadvertent abandonment, if that's what I think I heard.
Yes, it is an inadvertent abandonment. As
Sorry.
that's blue to gold. So he was fleeing right from the troops, and the phone fell out. And if your internet connection is not good enough, I can answer it, but I'll try to answer it. But
Yeah, I'm catching parts of it. So go you.
okay, look. So most courts, right, are going to say that this phone is abandoned. And the reason why it could be lost, like there's lost property and abandoned property, right?
Mhm.
Lost property is protected by the Fourth Amendment. And lost property is where somebody like leaves something behind, it falls off, somebody, whatever. But the thing is, courts are very reluctant to give a privacy interest to an item that is dropped while they're committing a crime. Does that make sense? Like they shouldn't expect it. Like, why? That's that two-part test. Remember the CATS test?
Mhm.
Like, you're committing a crime, you're fleeing the police, and you drop stuff. What would a reasonable person probably think is going to happen to their stuff? It's probably going to search it, right? And
Mhm.
society is not really going to recognize a lot of privacy interests and stuff evidence that you drop while you flee. So the first thing I'm going to go for, I'm going to teach you, is that is abandoned property. And so you can search it under abandoned property. I do have a case out of Texas where a guy was involved in a shooting, and he accidentally left his phone, on a car, and the police data dumped it without a warrant, even though they had plenty of time to get a warrant. And the court in Texas upheld the data dump. Why? Abandoned. The second reason that we're going to uphold this search most likely is under exigency, right? And that's what you actually talked about. Like, I want to find out who this guy is, right? So what I think is that cops can look in the phone and try to look in the phone to see who this person is, right? Who just ran from us. Here's the problem. That exigency only lasts as long as the exigent circumstances exist, right? So if you're data dumping it and you can't get into the phone because it's password protected, you're going to lose the exigency after a few hours. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So I think you're in the phone. Any other questions?
And would you say that's access to the whole phone, or just until you verify who you think the owner would be?
Well, look, if it's abandoned, it's access to the whole phone, right? I
Okay.
mean, you know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like they shouldn't just maybe abandon their phone. But if it's agency, it's only enough to find who the person is. So what would be the best practice? The best practice would be to kind of split the baby in the middle, as they say, and just find out who the person is through their Facebook account, through their text messages, right? Or, call 911 and see who the subscriber info is. And then after that, shut it down and get a warrant for the rest if you need it.
Perfect.
That'd be
Thank
the
you,
best.
sir.
That'd be the best. You're welcome, Troop.